Hey, good morning. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Lorraine, occupational therapist, image enthusiast. Today's message is another one of those bigger and better than messages. It's a spiritual message. First and foremost, I think it's very important to mention that we are very complex beings. There's many parts to who we are, to ourselves. There's our physical self, our emotional self, and of course, our spiritual self. Today in this video, we are going to address the spiritual self. So let me give you a recap of today's gospel. Today's gospel addressed a situation where there are 10 people that had a terrible, terrible skin disease. It was called leprosy. Now, these 10 people were simply cast out by the community. Nobody wanted to be around them. They were considered pretty much evil. They were bad because they had a terrible disease. So these 10 people came to Jesus and they begged him and asked them, please, can you heal us from this terrible disease? So Jesus healed the 10 lepers. They went on their way about their business, except there was one man who came back to thank Jesus. So now this brings us to today. That's right. It absolutely applies to us. So before I tell you how the gospel ends, let's take a moment and take a look at ourselves. We are far from being perfect. We ourselves have blemishes. Like those lepers had the disease, we have imperfections, sometimes big ones. But what happens with that? How many times have we found ourselves casting out our loved ones and friends because of their imperfections and maybe not seeing our own? We all have them. Just like the group of 10 people with that leprosy, that terrible illness, was cast out by the community, people of today experience that all the time. How many times have any one of us put aside our friends, cast them out like they're bad or evil because they're not perfect? They have something that just doesn't make us feel comfortable. And so we disassociate. We don't take a look at ourselves and understand that we have those imperfections too. So we need to open our hearts and our minds and understand that none of us are perfect. We won't ever be perfect. So what do we do about that? There was one person out of the group of 10 that came back to thank Jesus. So we need to be like that one person. That person had faith, that person was humble, and that person understood his imperfections and understood that the only way to get past the imperfections is through the healing of Jesus Christ. So we too have to understand that we have imperfections, and so does everybody else. We need to understand and accept others. We don't always have to agree, but we need to accept. So having that acceptance keeps our heart large, it keeps our minds clear, it keeps us humble, and lets us remember that the only way to grow is growing in faith through Jesus Christ. So obviously, the one person that came back to thank Jesus is our example. We need to follow what he did. We always need to be thankful for every blessing that we are given and know that those blessings are only through the grace of God. So on that note, have a great day and a blessed week. And like I always say, find your purpose, find your balance, and I guarantee you, you will find your joy. Talk to you later.